Everybody thinks that weight loss is just about food and workouts. But the truth is that most women don't stay overweight because they just lack discipline. That's true for some, but most stay overweight because their entire identity was built around being a girl that tries, not a girl that becomes. And when you finally become that girl that they are whispering about, not just because you're thinner, because you are unavailable to your old self. Everything, and I do mean everything, in your life shifts. This video is not going to be about getting motivated. This is about how you go from overweight and insecure to lean, unbothered, and magnetic in 45 days without starvation, without self-hate, or becoming a gym robot. This is the glow up blueprint for women who are done playing small. We're not just aiming to change your body. We are changing the version of you that your brain believes in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Fitless. My first name is Alyssa, and I'm so grateful for you guys being here. I have been on YouTube for around 2 years now, and I have grown expeditiously. And a huge reason for my growth is because I believe in myself without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm consistent, okay? If this is your very first video with me, welcome. I promise you're going to be watching a lot more. And if you have been with me for the last 2 years and you have seen my glow up, thank you. I'm so appreciative of you guys being here. A lot of you guys will go back and watch my old videos. I'm like, oh my gosh. But proof is in the pudding, okay? So I appreciate you guys. Let's get into phase one. Phase one is the internal mirror. The promise of this phase is very simple. You do not struggle with self-control. You struggle with signal interpretation. There's a story that has been constantly told to you over and over and over again about your body, about your hunger, your willpower, a story of control, restriction, a story of you constantly fighting against yourself. It has always felt foreign, kind of like an outfit that was never truly yours to wear. And oftentimes it's a narrative that does not fit the truth of your own experience. It's a story that you must try harder, that you're not doing enough. Be better, that your cravings are an absolute moral failing, a weakness to be conquered and slayed. So you have spent years, and for some of you, maybe even decades, at literal war with your own biology. And to be frank, a war you were never meant to win. I have a question for you guys. What if the battle was never the point? What if the struggle is just a misunderstanding? What if all this time your body wasn't the enemy, but a faithful messenger whose language you just don't quite understand? Today, in this first phase, we are going to begin to learn that language. Here's the science behind why this phase works, because science is hot. Your body is in a constant, quiet conversation with your brain. It's really just a biological process called interception. It's how you feel your own heartbeat, the fullness in your lungs when you fully breathe, the warmth in your stomach. It's the language of our inner world. When we exist in a cycle of chronic dieting or using food to soothe our emotions, this internal communication system that we have inside of us, it really just becomes underdeveloped. Basically, our wires get crossed. A brain underdeveloped interception, what it does is it mislabels sensation. The feeling of you being really stressed out registers as hunger. The ache of being lonely registers as hunger. The deep exhaustion and fatigue registers as hunger. When you're in this state, food, it no longer is just simple nourishment. It becomes a tool for regulation. It becomes the only way that your brain knows how to quiet down the alarm bells that are constantly going off. Solve the immediate problem of what you're experiencing. This is the real reason, you guys, why willpower will always fail. It's why you can have all the motivation in the world and still find yourself at 2 a.m. in the pantry. Let me be clear. Your brain, it's not weak. It honestly is really resourceful. It believes that it is solving a legitimate problem for you. And when it's faced with a perceived threat, it goes into survival mode. When you learn to listen again, be able to distinguish the signals, that it's not hunger, that you're just stressed out, everything shifts. When we really improve this internal awareness, it naturally is going to reduce the emotional eating and it helps quiet down that impulse to binge. It creates stability in your hormones that literally determine your appetite. Self control is not something you have to grip and choke down with force. It's something that you find waiting patiently. Here's a hot girl tip. Here's the truth, a secret that you can hold close to you. Name the signal before you feed it. I'll say it again. Name the signal before you feed it. The simple act of labeling a feeling with a signal, any type of precise word, and automatically, you guys, reduce the intensity. What it basically does, it takes the power back from the impulse and gives it back to you. I can give you an example. You're overwhelmed at work. Boss is all up on your back, right? You have a deadline. You're really stressed out. Your impulse is to make yourself feel better. So what do? You go in the lunchroom. There's a huge box of donuts, right? The signal in your brain is like, this will make me feel better. Instead, you can identify that and say, this is just stress, or this is boredom. This is thirst. I'm telling you guys, being able to signal how we are actually feeling is an absolute game changer. Here's your homework for this first phase. Before eating anything, and I mean anything, just pause for a moment. 10 seconds max. Within that pause, there is noticing how you are feeling and really register, where is this feeling in my body? Do I feel it in my stomach, in my chest? And oftentimes, if you pause for that moment, there's a name for it. Like I said, this is stress, this is boredom. Sometimes it may be hunger, but if the word is not hunger, do something else instead. A quiet walk, a slow, deliberate stretch, the warmth of a shower, a cup of tea. Phase 2, the identity switchboard. The real truth of this phase, you guys, is you don't change your life by forcing new habits. You change your life by changing the type of person that you truly believe that you are. Underneath the surface of our daily actions, what we do on a day-to-day basis, there essentially is a script. Have you heard the phrase, like, you're the main character, your life is a movie? I want you to think about it as it's like a quiet internal narrative that whispers who you are. This script is your identity. For many of us, it was written a really long time ago. Perhaps your script sounds something like this. I'm inconsistent. I'm the kind of person that always falls off. I start really strong, but I can never see it through. This identity doesn't just narrate your life. It literally directs it. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, a quiet command that your body is loyal to. You make a plan. You feel motivated. You're really excited. And then that old identity that you keep saying about yourself pulls you back. It isn't a failure of effort because you're trying. It is the deep biological loyalty to a character. But the beautiful thing is, what if that character was never really you? What if the identity is just a role that was handed to you? A story about yourself that you just over time learn to recite over and over again. The most profound act of transformation, it's not to just fight the old habit. It is to decide that you are no longer that woman. It is to choose a true identity. The one that has been waiting for you this entire time. This is me, you guys, at over 235 pounds. At the time, my identity was, it's genetics. I'm just a little thick. This is who I am. I've tried losing weight. It's hard. That was my identity for years. Finally, I made the decision that I no longer was happy with this woman. She was pre-diabetic. She was experiencing numbness in her legs. A girly who has always loved taking photos and videos literally stopped liking taking photos and videos. I just wasn't comfortable anymore. I felt complacent. Little things like walking up a flight of stairs was leaving me winded. I wasn't really being active. I was just gorging on food, snacks. I was eating candy, you guys. I'm not exaggerating, literally almost every single day. And then I would have some candy and be like, "Ooh, I got something sweet. I need something salty. Get a bag of chips as well." Like, I was best friends with the liquor store up the street because it was my snacks. I was drinking all the time over the weekends. That was my identity. I made a decision that I had this version of myself in my mind. This woman who was confident, who just exuded light, who felt really good about who she was and her body and her skin, right? When I was this woman, I started to shift my mindset to who I am today. I didn't fully see this version of myself, but I knew that I was tired of that old identity and I was ready for a new one. This is me now. 85 pounds down, entrepreneur, YouTuber, literally have transformed so many women's lives. And I do not take that for granted, but it all began with an identity shift. Here's the science behind why this phase works. Your brain operates on a principle known as predictive processing. It doesn't just react to the world, it actively predicts it. It's running like a constant simulation of what will happen next based on all your past experiences, and most importantly, based on who it expects you to be. Your sense of self, your identity, is stored and processed in a region of your brain called the posterior cingulate cortex. This is the hub of your self thoughts. When your brain has a meeting with this hub and it sees the identity of I'm inconsistent, it predicts inconsistent behavior. It then orchestrates your choices, your energy levels, and your impulses to confirm that prediction. Basically, it seeks to be correct above all else. To create lasting change in this behavior, you have to rewrite the prediction. You have to update your core identity. When your brain expects you to be the kind of person that does what she says she's going to do, the kind of person that follows through, it will begin to create the chemistry, you guys, and drive to make that a reality. I am living proof of this. You can change the habit by changing the predictor. And the benefits, you guys, for this is absolutely insane. It has a powerful effect on your body, physical transformation, body recomposition. It happens a lot faster when your identity and your environment reinforces it. When you begin to see yourself as a person who is strong, as a person who nourishes their body, who is absolutely, hopelessly devoted to her well-being, your actions will start to align. In your home, your clothes, your routine, they reflect that identity right back to you. The change becomes anchored. This is literally, you guys, where neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself, meets the simple power of routine repetition. Very easily put, your brain sees the evidence that you are a woman who shows up for herself. It believes this new identity because that is what you are showing it, and the physical follows. Here's a hot girl tip. I want you to dress, speak, and walk like your future self long before you are where you want to be. Let me be clear. This is not faking it. I want you to think about it as almost like a rehearsal. You are giving yourself new data. You're casting yourself in your dream role, and your brain is the devoted director, working, doing everything possible to make it a reality. I know that this phase may feel strange for some of you, especially in the beginning, but the woman I am today, I was acting this way before I became her. You understand what I'm saying? When I was overweight, when I was experiencing numbness in my legs, when I was pre-diabetic, when I was starting doing the habits of this dream woman that I wanted to be, I wasn't there yet, but I woke up early, 4 a.m. to do my workouts because the dream version of me did that. I ate clean because the dream version of me did that. And slowly but surely, you guys, I became her. It worked. Here's your homework for this phase. Choose one visible, tangible identity cue to change. Just one. It could be having a new clean girl look for the gym. It could be wearing some perfume to your workouts. It could be changing the background to your phone to your dream reality. Brain, it anchors identity through aesthetics and repetition. Give it something beautiful to hold on to. All right, can we pause for a second because I need your guys' full attention. If you're on day 14 for the 100th time, it's not because you're weak, it's because you're winging it. I built my very own app, 60 Days to Her, after my own start-stop era. To give you some structure, the same daily task every day for the next 60 days, no guesswork. It's basically your accountability BFF, your progress tracker, your hype squad, all in one for just $11.99. One-time fee, y'all. That's it. Here's exactly what you do over the next 60 days. 40 minutes of movement. You can walk, weight lift, yoga, Pilates, dance. The choice is yours, but movement is key. Consistently for 60 days. A daily progress photo. You literally watch your glow up in real time. Half a gallon of water. No excuses. 8,000 steps. Whole foods only. We are breaking up with fast food and junk food for the next 60 days. And a daily gratitude check-in and mindfulness, because it's super important on this journey to really understand how you are feeling day to day. You'll check off your daily tasks. You'll see your streaks. And what my favorite part is, honestly, is that you can share it on social media and tag me. I love sharing your guys' journeys. So please tag me and I will share it across my socials. Within the app, I also have an upgrade for $15.99. It's a smart meal planner, and you literally can calculate your calories needed for weight loss, and you get recommended meals to you daily, okay? No excuses. We are glowing up over the next 60 days. If you are done restarting, this is your 60-day structure. Tap the link in the description, 60 days to her, or click the link right here on the screen, or head over to 60daystoher.com. Let's get into the next phase. Phase 3 is metabolic elegance. In this phase, we are not starving the body. We are retraining its metabolic signaling. Let's keep it all the way 100, you guys. Oftentimes, the world of fat loss has long been associated with violence, fighting fat, battling cravings, conquering your body. It's a narrative of force, punishment, of deprivation. And this is why it always feels so brutal when we are going on these journeys. True change, you guys, lasting change, often doesn't come from a place of hostility. It comes from a place of intelligent cooperation. It's more of a dance, not a war. Imagine your body not as a battlefield, but more of a finely tuned instrument. It responds to signals, not demands. The goal is not to silence and conquer it, but give it clearer, more consistent signals. Here's the science behind this phase. Deep, really deep in your brain, there's a region where your appetite is being regulated. It's really like the master control center. If you guys have ever seen like Magic School Bus, visualize with me for a moment. It's this master control center for hunger, fullness, and your energy balance. When your life is chaotic, this center, this hub is also chaotic. When your blood sugar is literally on a roller coaster from processed junk, when your stress is chronically high, when your sleep is fragmented and poor and inconsistent, the appetite signals sent from that portion of your brain, that hub, messaging systems, they break down. This is why sometimes cravings can literally feel like uncontrollable and you constantly feel hungry. The solution is to restore the signal. When we stabilize your energy, your blood sugar, your stress hormones, your brain receives a calm, clear message. And what does it do? It stops over triggering hunger signals because it's no longer like, oh my gosh, we're in crisis. When you prioritize protein in your meals, you naturally, you guys, naturally increase hormones like GLP-1. These are your body's own powerful built-in appetite suppressors. Like you can do this naturally. When you walk, you're not just burning calories. You are improving your body's insulin sensitivity, which means your cells become much more efficient at using fat for energy. When you lift weights, focus on progressive overload, your muscles release compounds called myokine. I want you guys to think about this. This is literally signaling molecules that travel through your bloodstream. And what do? They instruct your fat cells to shrink. And when you expose your eyes first thing in the morning to sunlight, you are regulating your master clock. What does this do? It sets a healthy cortisol rhythm for your entire day, which really just dramatically reduces cravings in the evening. This is literally, you guys, the lean girl formula that not enough people talk about. It's physiological, it's gentle, and it's effective. Here's a hot girl tip. I want you guys to start treating every meal with this sequence. Protein first, fiber second, carbohydrates third. I'm not just telling you some arbitrary thing. This is strategic. Slows down your digestion and the absorption of sugar in your bloodstream. This single change, it prevents the energy crashes that often lead to cravings and overeating. It keeps you glowing and not inflamed, because who wants to be inflamed all the time? Here's your homework for this phase. Aim for 8,000 to 12,000 steps every single day. This can be broken down to any way you guys want. Try to aim for 3 strength sessions a week at home or at the gym. A simple rhythm of push, pull, legs. And try to get between 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal. It's a lot easier, you guys, to reach your protein goals if you split it up like this. Phase 4 is the soft walls. The core understanding of this phase is your glow up will trigger a social recalibration. I'm here to tell you, not everyone in your life benefits from your newfound self-respect. As you begin to change and embody this new version of yourself, what happens is you become more visible. Light is brighter. Your energy is clearer. This radiance sadly, will disrupt some of the dynamics around you. It is what it is. The old roles that you used to play in your relationships, they may no longer fit. This is not failure. It's honestly a sign of your evolution. The practice of self-respect, it requires you what I like to call soft walls. These are not walls of aggression or defense. They're more elegant, energetic boundaries that ultimately they're going to protect your peace. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, there can be a little bit of discomfort here when you stop being endlessly available, when you no longer absorb all the emotions of others. Some people will begin to feel your absence. This is natural. You are altering a system, and a system will push back. The most profound realization that I can tell you guys is that their reaction to your new identity, it's not your responsibility. Your only responsibility is to the woman that you are becoming. Here's the science behind this phase. There's a neuroscience to this phase that really isn't discussed like I wish it was. When you first set a boundary, when you first say no, when you choose, I'm not going to engage, when you prioritize your own needs above others, your brain may initially register this as a threat. Your brain's alarm system, it may activate. This is why sometimes when you're first doing this, it can feel uncomfortable at first. Oftentimes, sometimes dangerous, like, whoa. But listen to me very clearly. Here is the beautiful truth. Every single time that you hold that boundary, you are doing far more than just managing a social situation. You are literally strengthening your prefrontal cortex. This is the center of self-governance, of rational thought, of your highest self. Each soft wall that you build is like a repetition, a type of workout for this part of your brain. This, you guys, is literally like an upgrade. And then what happens? This process is deeply connected to your physical body and your appetite. For so many of us, food has been used for generations as a tool to manage discomfort of others. We eat to soothe the tension in the room. We eat to stuff down the words that we are just afraid to say out loud. We use food to numb ourselves from draining relationships. When we do this, you guys, we are literally training our nervous system to fear boundaries, because boundaries would mean you have to feel that discomfort in that moment, and we just rather not deal with that. But when you create distance, when you build what I call soft walls, and you reduce your exposure to emotional strain, something honestly, truly remarkable happens. Your cravings, they begin to decrease. The impulse that was once so strong for emotional eating, it softens. This is because that trigger has been removed. Your appetite was never just about food, you guys. Oftentimes it's tied to relationships. A regulated nervous system does not seek frantic regulation from food. Here's a hot girl tip. Here's a phrase I want you guys to write down, tattoo it on yourself. Don't tattoo it on yourself, but really hold it close to your heart and refer to it often. It is a complete sentence and it does not require further explanation. I don't explain my self-care. Let the words really land. Let the silence that follows be part of your new aura. You do not owe anybody a dissertation of your own well-being. This is your life, you guys, and we only get one. Your peace is the explanation. Here's your homework for this phase. I want you to replace emotional response eating with a new ritual, because this journey, it's going to happen. You're going to have days. But I want you to practice this, and it gets easier over time. You have a moment of weakness and you want to go to food and you're not hungry. It's just like I said, you're frustrated, you're angry, you're sad, you're lonely. When you would go to food, replace that habit with something else. With each replacement, you are teaching your body a new lesson. You are teaching your body they can be safe and regulated and at peace without food as a mediator. So many of us just associate food with so many things. I'm challenging you to not always do that. And I think when you guys get into the flow of this, you're going to see how liberating it can be. When I get stressed out now, I go for a walk with my dog with some music. It really helps regulate me. Oftentimes, I used to just eat, especially sweets. Those sweets just give me those little endorphins and I feel better. But now I replace that with a walk. Simple. Sometimes all I need is like 10 minutes of fresh air. It works. Okay, can we pause for a second? I need to speak directly to women who are watching this and feel a spark. The woman who truly knows that she's ready for the identity shift and this time is different. Everything I'm teaching in this lessons is part of a much bigger framework. I've built an entire masterclass, the Show Up System, which is the exact system that I use to lose over 85 pounds naturally. The system got me out of the cycle of quitting and self-sabotage for good. I've poured every single thing I've learned into this masterclass. Every mistake I've made, every breakthrough, and honestly, it's a complete rewiring of how you approach health. I have several modules within the course. First one begins with mindset to teach you how to finally see yourself as a fit person, because mindset is huge. I include a step-by-step on how to truly understand your macros and read nutrition labels without feeling overwhelmed. And I have a full 8-week Fit Girl Cut guide that teaches you how to go on sustainable cut for 8 weeks to lose fat. The most important and my favorite part about the Show Up System is you're not doing it alone. There's an entire community of women who are on the exact same journey as you. You have I think around 25 women now in the Show Up System, and it's very intimate. It's a group, but we talk to each other and you have direct access to me. A lot of times I can't talk to all you guys, answer all your questions. But when you join the Show Up System, these are my girlies and I can talk to you guys more. You can ask me direct questions. I've even had one-on-ones with some girlies within the Show Up System. This isn't just a course, it's a community. Like I said, you'll be welcomed into a private group that no one else has access to outside of the course. This is really for the individuals who are done with the quick fixes and want to finally learn the skills on how to show up for themselves for good. If that's you and you're interested in joining the Show Up System, make sure you click the link in the description below or scan the QR code right here on the screen to get access to the Show Up System. All right, you guys, let's get into the very last phase. Phase 5 is the season finale. The truth of this final phase is simple. You did not finish, you have arrived. There is an ending to every story, but the story that you are going on, changing your identity, becoming your dream girl, the end, it's not a finish line. It's more of like an arrival. It's the moment the identity that you have been rehearsing becomes what you simply are. This is not a loud, dramatic conclusion. It's quiet integration. The work has been done. The shifts have been made. The energy you carry, it's different now and people can feel it. This survival energy, it's not something that you're going to have to announce to the world. It's truly something the world is going to feel when you walk into rooms. Trust me. The goal is not to just complete a checklist of habits. The goal is to become the woman whose habits are a natural extension of who she is. Here's the science behind this phase. The human brain, it's wired for story. It needs and it seeks closure arcs. When you consciously mark an end of your transformation, you are giving your brain a powerful signal. You are telling it that the period of change is complete and the new rule has been fully adopted. This process is called self-concept consolidation. Basically, by creating a definite end, your brain integrates the new identity more deeply. It moves from the identity of something I'm trying to be to someone that I am. And you guys, there's also a powerful biological reason to honor this moment. The act of reflection, of witnessing your own progress and acknowledging the journey and all that you've accomplished has a direct effect on your brain chemistry. It increases the sensitivity of your dopamine receptors. And dopamine, we love her. It's often called like the motivation molecule. When your receptors are more sensitive, it takes less effort to feel motivated. By taking a moment to celebrate and integrate your progress, you are biologically wiring yourself to make long-term consistency feel easier and more natural. Here's a hot girl tip. There is no announcement. There's no, so I've been on this journey monologue for your friends or your followers. The most powerful transformations are felt, not explained. Here is your last homework assignment. I'm a little sad when we get to the end. Mark day 45 on your calendar. Treat it as like an almost sacred day. Then I want you to dress as her. Dress as the woman who owns the room. Your glow up isn't going to be loud. It's going to be undeniable. These phases, you guys, is all about your brain learning safety and your body learning trust. And thank you guys so much for being here. I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you are committing to the phases, let me know in the comments below so I can support you. And make sure you guys are following me on social. On Instagram, I am Fitlist Lifestyle. And on TikTok, I am fitlist.lifestyle. And as mentioned, if you guys want to join the 60 Days to Her app, it's only $11.99. Make sure you click the link in the description, 60 Days to Her. If you're interested in my masterclass, the show up system, the link is in the description as well. And I will see you guys in my next video.